Agape. Judas Iscariot went to the chief priests and said, "What will you give me if I deliver him to you?" Matthew chapter 26 verses 14 to 15. Wednesday of Holy Week. Things are moving fast. Each of the apostles is feeling the intensity of Jesus' cleansing of the temple and his scathing confrontation with the Pharisees. Peter is stirred by the confrontation and conspiracy. Matthew is troubled by how serious the disciples have become. And Judas, poor Judas, is more confused than anyone. We don't know why Judas betrays Jesus. We can imagine that Judas had a romantic idea of what would happen in Jerusalem. The palm branches and hosannas only confirmed what he had hoped, that Jesus would enter Jerusalem and be recognized by all as the long-awaited Davidic ruler. But things are quickly unraveling. Powerful scribes hate Jesus. Powerful Pharisees hate Jesus. Members of the Sanhedrin hate Jesus. Judas thinks he loves Jesus, but Judas only loves what he wants Jesus to be. We can imagine how Judas loves his own ambitions. Judas's love for Jesus is self-serving. It is selfish and conditional. It isn't about surrender. It's about Judas. Dazed, confused, and resentful that things aren't going his way, Judas went to the chief priests and said, "What will you give me if I deliver him to you?" Matthew chapter 26 verses 14 to 15. Let's contrast Judas with Jesus. How does Jesus love? Pope Benedict XVI writes, "Of the three Greek words for love, eros, philia, the love of friendship, and agape, New Testament writers prefers the last. God's agape is love which forgives. God is love, and God's love is agape. It is a complete gift. There's no strings attached." We can imagine that Judas betrays Jesus because he is confused. But that confusion is fueled by one thing and one thing only: Judas's refusal to surrender. Judas's love for Jesus has morphed into a self-serving narcissism because Judas couldn't respond to Jesus with surrender. For Judas, following Christ is still what Benedict XVI called just an ethical choice or a lofty idea. Judas's love is conditional. Jesus' love, by contrast, is pure agape. It is unconditional. Jesus knows that Judas will betray him. Jesus still invites him to Jerusalem. He still washes Judas's feet in the upper room. He still prays with Judas at the Last Supper, always imbued with agape. Jesus keeps reaching out to Judas to the very end. That's love. That's agape. That's the love, agape love, that Jesus has for you. For your prayer, stay here for an additional 10 minutes. Today, pray with Matthew chapter 26 verses 1 to 16. Be present in the scene. Ask the Holy Spirit to help you see what the people in the gospel saw and hear what they heard. What's in your heart as Judas makes plans to betray Jesus?